All right, folks, it's Tuesday, y'all. A little earlier than normal, but it's all right, folks. We got things to do, things got to be done. In the meantime, me and Dusty gonna get live and have some fun. But before we do that, I got to do this. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. Get live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. Me and my main man Dusty gonna do it like this for the next few minutes. Hope you enjoy what we got to say. We got a whole lot to talk about, y'all. A whole lot. Dusty.
Lonzo, what up, my man?
Oh man, you're hanging like a chandelier, just trying to shine.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I know you headed to a special event today, man. Tell us about it.
Yeah, my former manager and still good friends, Mr. Jerry Williams, a.k.a. Swamp Dog, is having a premiere for his documentary. Swamp Dog gets his pool painted up in Santa Monica, and it starts at 6 o'clock. So I figure I'm going to come here and do our thing right quick a little early and make that fight through traffic. You know, it's going to be a monster going down wherever I go. It's going to be a monster.
Tell us a little bit about Swamp Dog. I know we've talked about him before, but talk about his importance in your life and, you know, some of the things he's done in the industry.
Swamp Dog, man, is one of them cats, man, that he put me up on the game that nobody else would put me up on. I met him through his daughter. Me and his daughter was dating for a minute, and you know, she brought me to the house. Dad, this is my friend Lonzo. He got a record company too. Oh yeah. Come on, sit down and have a seat, boy. He sit my ass down. I say, what's the name of your label? I say, Crew Cut Records. Who your distributor? I said, Macola. He said, who's the publisher? I don't know. When you get paid? I don't know. How much you get paid? I don't know. He says, yeah, come get this ignorant motherfucker. He don't know shit. He too dumb to date your ass. Come get this dumb son of a bitch. How the hell you going? He talked about me bad. He talked about me bad. Jerry Curl and all. And dude, they said, Yvonne, he called his wife in the room. Yvonne, come look at this dumb motherfucker she brought in the house. Oh man, it was horrible, dude. She brought this dumb motherfucker in the house. He got a record company. Don't know when he get paid. Don't know when he get published. How you got a record company? Oh, dude. He rode my ass for about a good 15 minutes. And I loved him ever since. That's no bullshit. He rode my ass. And he look, nigga, come on back in the back. Let me talk to you. You can't be out here with these white folks not knowing what the hell you doing. And he spent weeks, months, years talking to me about the independent record game. And he taught me everything I know.
What do you think he saw in you? Because a lot of people don't take the time to school these young cats. They see a dummy and they just let him go be dumb by himself. What do you think it was about you that he saw, that he sat you down, not only for that day, but like you said, for years after that? I
let him know I've always appreciated his input in me, man. I've always respected his opinion. I've called him even now as a grown ass man. Hey man, what about so and so? In fact, I'm going to see him tonight, not only for his documentary, but because he may be able to turn me on to some distribution for my documentary. So we still doing things, man. So, you know, it's one thing for somebody to take you under their wing, but you act like you doing them a favor for listening. It's a whole different attitude. And I tell cats that just right to this day, man. I'll talk to anybody, but you got to let me know that you listening and you're going to apply some of this shit. Don't waste my time. And he knew I wasn't going to waste his time. And that's probably the biggest thing I learned through dealing with my old man, dealing with Jeffy, and then Swamp Dog. There's a certain amount of attention, a certain amount of respect. And sometimes when the old dude is talking, man, shut your ass up and listen. That's a library. That's like going to the library and playing basketball. Negro, are you out of your mind? Play basketball some other time. This is not the time, other place to be playing basketball or doing some dumb shit. You got a scholar in front of you. You better get your education sponge out and start soaking like a son of a gun, man, because you don't know how long you're going to have this opportunity.
That's facts. Everybody hit that like button. I see the chat fam is in the building. Rashard, Marlon, Gary's Garage. Much love to you all. Derek, we see you all. Make sure you hit that like button before you get too comfortable. Lonzo, today we're going to talk about something that we talk about every year around this time. Every year around this time. April 29th, 1992. Tonight, we're going to focus mainly on the LA riots. Let's go back. And once again, we talk about it every year, but we have new listeners and, you know, the stories are so great. And the fact that you were there in the middle of this, not in the middle of it, but you were there as an adult and you understand it a lot more than I did when I was in my, 12 or 13, but let's go all the way back before we even talk about the LA riots. Let's discuss something that you were a little bit younger at, but the Watts riots that began on August 11th, 1965. Tell everyone to the best of your knowledge, how it started and share any of your personal experiences you had.
Well, you know what? I've come to the conclusion, and based on my recollection, memory, and understanding, every riot we've ever had in California, or for the most part anywhere in the country, was always caused by actions by the police. Every one of them. The Watts riot was caused by actions by the police. 118th and Avalon, not far from the club. A cop was, I guess he was arresting this lady, older lady, and he was manhandling. And the brother's like, man, we ain't doing that today. And it set it off. And cops, they can't take an ass whooping. They had to keep calling everybody they can. And brothers kept calling everybody they could. And next thing you know, the city was on fire. It was on fire, dude. It was like, dude, we're not doing this no more. We tired of getting our ass whooped. We tired of watching people getting their asses whooped. It's going down today. And they fought for like 3-4 days. It looted for 3 or 4 days. I never forget, man. I'm like 9 or 10. What year was this now? 65?
65, August 11th.
65. I'm 8 years old, man. I'm 9 years old. I'm 9 years. I just turned 9 in June. And it was frightening, man, because you would see people coming down the street, man, hauling couches on their back and shit. We live right by a department store, and people would run down the street with clothes and shoes. That's when shoes didn't come in boxes. They just tied them together, a little piece of plastic, and they had shoes just, in their hands. Oh, it was wild, dude. And then all of a sudden they called the National Guard in. And National Guard was everywhere. Big white corn-fed. I ain't see no black National Guards nowhere. They came with an attitude to shut it down. They called a curfew. They definitely called a curfew. And if you didn't have reason to be out at certain times of night, your ass might go to jail or get shot. Okay. And that was the era. It always smelled like smoke, or something was always burning. Everything was always a fire, man. I remember right by my house, like I said, I lived down where I lived at. It was the top of the hill, and we actually lived in the bottom of the hill, like the valley of the hill. Because to go to my house, you had to come down the hill. To leave my house, you had to go up a hill. So we lived in the bottom of this little gully type situation, and even our backyard was on a slant. And dude, it was just always people running. It was for days, for hours, all time of night. People running in the store. They finally stopped burning. The store that I went to as a kid every day. My mama sent me to the store every day. Wasn't the same no more, man. It wasn't the same, dude. The Jewish guy that sold the insurance, he was gone. The store was half tore up, half looted. They didn't do a lot of stuff to the grocery because it was half groceries and half department store. The grocery side had some minimum damage, but the side everybody was messing with was the department store side. That's where the clothes and the furniture was, and it what the vibe was changed, because it used to be a place I would go and hang out and play pinball and shit sometime, and the vibe just changed, dude. And like I said, it had a lot of little shops there. And Sid, his name was Sid. I forgot his last name, but it was a Jewish guy named Sid. He had an insurance store, a record store, and some other little small businesses in there. And they all were gone. Then White Front left. They tore White Front up. had a white front right there on Imperial. That was good. We had two of them. We had two white fronts on Imperial. One by
what's the white front? What's white front?
White front used to be a department store, big department store. That was our Kmart back in the day. White front and Zodi's. Excuse me. If you went to white front and Zodi's, you had a little change. You know, you was hood. You was still hood poor because you still could go get shit on layaway. Y'all heard of layaway, right? Layaway, you put a little something on it, come back and get it when you got some more to put on it. By the time you get it out, the shit be out of style. It might not fit no more, but you still your shit. Yep, that was man, and that was like I said, that was the 65 riots, the 92 riots. I was a grown man, and I just left the tire shop on Avalon. Nelson Gunner bought me 2 tires. You know, niggas only buy tires in 2s, pairs. I don't buy tires full. I never bought a full set of tires in my life. I bought me 2 back tires for my van. Went to my cousin's house, sat in his pad for a minute, watched television, and next thing I know, the city was going up, man. It was then on the way home from his house. It was fire trucks and police flying everywhere. Cops was riding 3 deep. They was riding 3 deep, and the cat in the back, the door damn near stayed open most of the time. It kept their helmets on all the time in the car. They got their helmets on. You know it's serious when the cops got their helmet on all the time. And that's when they beat Reginald Denny right there on Normandy and Florence. And dude, it was going down. Then shortly after that, they started riding. They were looking for places to hit, and a couple of cats got pretty smart on this one right here. They bought a big, one of them fireman saws with the big round blade, and they just and have a motor on it. And shit, that son of a gun. They go to every shoe outlet in the city and hit them up, and that's what they did for the next few days. Was just went through the city and just robbed all the shoe stores. I never understood the attraction of tennis shoes. Why people would risk going to jail for tennis shoes. But hey, man, it is what it is. But I also remember something that was this one riot was really, the 92 riot was really, I observed this one from a distance. I didn't riot. I didn't loot shit. My old man, in the 65 riots, he was like, I'm not going out there. Ain't nobody, nobody can go out there, period. Talking about my cousins. These white folks gonna act a fool, blah, blah, blah. I ain't trying to bury nobody over no damn store-bought shit. But I remember distinctively, I'm sitting at the pad watching the riots on the TV, and news reporters would be out in the streets, and they'd be saying shit like, I'm on the corner of Slauson, Vermont, right here by the grocery store. There's not a cop anywhere. Oh my God. I'm saying people just run. Dude, here I'm reporting from so-and-so on the corner of Crenshaw and Slauson. There's not a cop anywhere. And it's like you was almost telling people where to come so you can get your shop on, or your whatever you want to call it. But the cops, the shop owners, I think it was either the swap meet or one of the down that area. They was like, nah, we ain't going for it. They was on the roof with rifles and shit, man, shotguns and rifles. Come up here, you want to. We going hunting, and they didn't get messed with. But for the most part, the news kind of fueled that shit, man. It was just amazing how they was like just reporting all the locations that were unprotected by the police. On the news, broadcasting. Hey, we're over here right now. Come on by. Pretty much, it's free for all.
Same thing they were doing with cocaine, telling you it's a champagne and drug. Yeah, I want to try that motherfucker now. God damn.
Dude, I'm telling you, the news ain't shit. The news, northeast, west, and south ain't shit. They use that shit because it sounds like think about the news. The news sounds very authoritative today, and everybody's always, wear a suit and blah blah blah. They speak very proper English, and depending on who you're talking to, they can gain your trust. Well, today I'm Jerry Dunphy, and we're going to investigate the new drug sensation here and taking over the party scene, cocaine. It's a party drug called the champagne drug. No shit. That's no shit. Okay. Where you get it from? That's real talk, dude. That's how they pumping that shit. And it's like, oh my God. Oh yeah, people, you party all night long. It has one effect, you make you tired the next day, but for the most part, it's a great upper. And people, then after a while, people started having side effects, and they started coming up with other different little vitamin remedies like vitamin B12 and shit like that. That became the new thing too, because it was free, it was legal, and people were sticking under their tongue and getting a little jolt, and that whole little thing, man. But all that was promoted through the news. But I have never seen a cocaine commercial in my life, but I damn sure heard it promoted. That's for damn sure.
That's crazy. If you have any questions for the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, drop them in the chat and we'll get to them around the second half of the show. But I want to keep on the LA riots, Lonzo. But before we even get to the LA riots, let's stick to Watts again. You tell the story once a year. It's personally one of my favorite stories, but it happened during the Watts riots. Tell us the mom and the cocked wig story.
Oh shit. My mom was a no-nonsense lady. No nonsense. My mama had wigs like I got baseball caps. I must have about 30 baseball caps, maybe 40. I don't know. Anytime she get in a hurry, she just throw on a wig, go on about her business. And this particular day, where we lived, like I said, we lived on the side. We lived on a slanted backyard. But my old man had flattened a piece of it out. We could play basketball back there. We didn't have a gate yet. And because I was the oldest one, I was the only one that was allowed to go out in the street to get the ball. So we playing basketball in the backyard and the ball rolled out in the street. Well, one time the ball rolled out in the street and I found a bullet, big ass M16 bullet, long son of a bitch. And I got a bullet. I'm 10 years old. I got a bullet. Okay. And I'm just playing with this bullet. And my sister dropped a dime on my ass. And Daddy, Eric got a bullet. My mom come outside, whooped my ass for having a bullet in the first place. But then when the National Guard shows up, they got a whole truck full of National Guard. They pull up. She flagged them down with this wig twisted like a son bitch. Hey. And she got in this kid, big old tall ass corn-fed white boy. She in his face about this bullet and her kids. She giving him the riot act. My dad was like, oh shit, she gonna get us all killed out here. But my mama did not take no shit, and she didn't play about her kids. And they, yes, Miss Williams. Yes, Miss Williams. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna call so and so. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Wig twisted like a motherfucker. Ain't thought about lining up nowhere. And we never had no problems with the bullets no more. That's no bullshit.
Now, in reality, your father probably wouldn't have been able to do that. Is it safe to say?
They'd have kicked his ass. Let me say, in real life with me, man, it would happen. And I know this is real shit. When I ran Club Hall of Fame at the Hollywood Park Casino, one night, my cousin, Vanetta, she worked with me. Real nice lady, older lady, real sweet, real nice personality. And somehow or another, we booked an OG blood party and an OG Crip party at the same night. They got all these young YGs in suits. These Negroes ain't never wore a suit before. None of them. They didn't hem the pants. They didn't take the pins out the collar. One cat came to me, man. I knew one of them. One of them came to me, Lonzo, man, this shirt just look good, man, but it's kicking my ass. What's wrong, man? Man, it keeps something. It's itching and sticking. This nigga got pins sticking here in this goddamn neck. I ain't bullshitting. Got the tag still on the collar. It's sagging still. And the youngsters started having a little rumble. We know we was on a 1-fight rule limit at Club Hall of Fame. First fight, we got it there. Vanetta went and got both of the double OGs who was having a birthday party. Now, me and my other partner, the security guard, we already spoke to them one time, and they were like, man, fuck y'all. Okay? Hey, man, go on with that. Okay? And Vanetta walked over there. She took them both by the hand. Baby, Yes, mama. This is my club. Me and my cousin run it. I heard y'all having a problem. Do y'all want to stay here and party or what? Yes, mama. Well, y'all need to get your little fellas together so we can have a good time tonight. Can we keep any of your problems outside of the club? Can I get that? Could y'all do that for me, please? Yes, mama. Both of them. Both of them. Me and homeboy on the side like, ain't that a bitch? They ready to whoop our ass. Hey, ain't man, nigga, going with that. Okay, it's about to go down. And she grabbed them by the hand like two big old kids, and then both them cats melted like candles. I'm not bullshitting, man. I'm not bullshitting. So yeah, that's how the softer sex can not manipulate, just control us. You know, a situation that you've been in that I know I have a damn show that a woman has said something to me, and I'm like, yeah, all right, baby, okay. A dude said, man, fuck you. Yeah. So yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, leading up to the LA riots, because the Watts situation was a big deal. It was within 30 years of that. So a lot of people alive then were alive in 92 when this happened. But in hindsight, how did LA change? Not just Watts, but LA in a whole. How did LA as a whole change after the Watts rebellion?
After the Watts rebellion, man, we got Martin Luther King Hospital. That was one of the best things we got at the time. We got that hospital. We had a lot of programs started. Right after that, it came out with the CETA program. So they would get cats, everybody had a little job during the summertime, get you off the street, put some money in your pocket. It was a lot of different things. A lot of programs came out to help folks in Watts, LA, South Central. Again, I was still on the young side, but I know cats that benefited, and that shit went on for a while. Even when I was like 17, the CETA program was still going on. That's how I got to work for Caltrans the 2 years that I did through the CETA program. And that's probably one of the best things. And then we didn't have a hospital. The only hospital we had around here was St. Francis. That's in Linwood. Dude, you can bleed out between trying to get from LA, from my house to Linwood. Okay. So yeah, they built Martin Luther King Hospital. And again, by the time they built it, got it going good, it became the trauma center of South Central LA. Because shortly after that, here come the drugs.
Now, Martin Luther King, infamously known as Killer King, for anyone who lives in Los Angeles. To the best of your knowledge, why do they call it Killer King?
Because at one time, man, the trauma center was so overwhelmed with cats getting shot. During the 70s and late 70s and early 80s, man, folks were getting laid out, dude. And a lot of times, man, cats would actually come into the hospital and get your ass while you on the gurney. You didn't die, nigga. You didn't die in the street. That's okay. We're going right past the security guard, right past the nurses. We're going to finish your ass off right here. And it got to the point where folks was dying in the hospital. And sometimes it might be from lack of care or just somebody came in and finished him off. And so many guys was dying, dude. That became the nickname, Killer King.
Infamous scene in, I do believe it's Minister Society, where he gets shot and then they rush him into the hospital and there's people everywhere. And yeah, so there's a famous scene where King gets shot, and I believe that is based on Killer King or MLK right there. As a young black man living in around that time, let's go 70s, Lonzo. You get your license, you're out there doing your thing. Did you ever have any bad run-ins with police? And did your pops give you any advice on how to interact when you come across law enforcement or they come across you?
Man, my daddy told me when I was like 14, 15. He says, we was talking about something one day. I said, you going to jail? I asked him, had he been in jail? He said, yeah, back in Mississippi. I said, I ain't going to jail. Oh, yeah, you will. You will. Huh? He said, you gonna go at least twice. Huh? I said, no, I'm not. He said, yes, you are. Because he said, unfortunately, son, that is just the nature of the land. I can understand, because as a 14-year-old kid, I'm square as a goddamn pool table, whatever you want to call it. I'm square as a Rubik's Cube. I ain't got nothing in my life that I would ever remotely think I would put me in jail. Okay. And he said, hey man, when the police pull you over, just be as cool as you can. Because he said they're gonna say things to you that you ain't gonna like, but just be cool. Just get through it. The object of the game is to get home. That's the object of the game, is to get home. And he told me that. And that was one of the things that stuck with me. And as much as some bitches would piss me off, oh, dude, did they give me problems? Come on, man. I'm a black man, lived on 132nd and Main Street. But especially, and I was a low rider too. Come on, man. They pulled me over in front of my house. In fact, I wasn't even in my car. I parked my car across the street from my house, about to get out. They swooped up on me. Woo! Man, they took out all my 8 tracks, opened my trunk up, took my air filter cover off, got my hands on that hot ass hood. It's summertime, dude. They don't shut them cars off, man. Your fingertips are burning, literally. And they just would harass us for we could be sitting there talking, man. They just pull up, start fucking with us, air against the wall. And where I lived, I didn't sell. I never messed with the drugs. I never sold drugs. But because so many cats in my hood did, and they don't really have no idea who's who and what's what, that's the excuse I'm going to give them. But after a while, they got, dude, come on, man. Y'all keep harassing the same people, and you ain't got nothing yet. What makes you think something going to happen now? And yeah, dude, that shit was really, 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 really bad for a while, dude. I was so glad when I got grown and got off the corner, man. I ain't bullshit.
Let me ask you, there's a famous scene in Boys in the Hood. I call it the black cop scene. To the best of your knowledge, or maybe from personal experience, did the black cops back then, do a little extra, try to put a little 10 on the 2?
I'm going to tell you a story I told just yesterday. Everything I've ever done has been within 5 miles of my house. I only had one job that took me outside of my house. I had a job, worked for Caltrans. My yard was on the 605 and the 91. Other than that, I could walk to work. I had a job working at a convalescent home. I was an orderly. They call them CNAs now. I was an orderly in high school, still in the 12th grade. And right down Avalon, El Segundo, there's a tire shop across from there's a shopping center. Next to the shopping center, there's a tire shop. Across the street from that, there's a hospital called View Heights. Across the street from all that is a Burger King. And it's a true story. And I told it just yesterday of Sunday. And this guy had got arrested. White boy got arrested. He's playing crazy. Where I worked at, we had 2 sides. We had a mental side and we had a convalescent side. I worked on the mental side. Me and my partner from high school, we Norris. We worked on the mental side. So this white boy was under 72-hour observation, and depending on what they wrote on his ass was going to determine whether he went to a mental institution or to jail or prison, whatever it was. So I guess at some point in time, he decided he's going to break out. And it wasn't shit to break out of. The door was a little wooden buzzer door, and you kicked that son of a bitch, and he headed down Avalon. So the nurses, every nurse over there was 300 plus. So they wasn't going to catch him. They sent me and Norris to run down Avalon to catch this white boy. We catch up with the white boy, and about 3 or 4 blocks down the street, we got him. We bringing him back. Well, somebody, don't know who it was, called the police and told the police that 2 black kids had a white boy jacked up. The sheriff was at McDonald's, Burger King, I presume, because when they swooped up on us, jumped out the car, motherfucker got a 9mm in one hand and a Whopper in another. I swear to God, okay? 9mm in one hand and a Whopper in the other. The motherfucker put the Whopper down, walked over to me, and stuck his goddamn gun in my ear. Dude, I'm in tears, man. Officer, I work for the hospital. This guy He's an escape patient. Oh, shut the fuck up. Black cop, give me a hard time. You niggas, blah, 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 blah. God damn, white boy, he a little rough, but he ain't rough as this black cop is, man. And by this time, the nurses that waddle their asses down the street, they huffing and puffing and shit. And don't let them go. They work for the hospital. They work for the hospital. Now, here was an honest mistake, but it still was fucked up. We never wore white smocks or nothing. We just wore our regular street clothes. We were orderlies, okay? We picked up we gave everybody shit on themselves. We washed all the shit off the people. You know, we did all the fucked up shit, okay? Passed out some trays and picked up all the shitty blankets and towels and shit sheets and shit like that. So they put the white boy in the back of the police car and drove him and one of the nurses back to the hospital. And me and Norris had to walk our asses back down there, scared as shit. But we were shaking the whole time, dude. Yeah, I experienced that shit before. A motherfucker put down a whopper and keep the 9mm. Yeah, that's some fucked up shit. That's real talk.
You know, it doesn't take much to suffer from PTSD. Did that mess with you for a minute, having a gun in your ear as a kid?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Dude, you learn you develop a disdain for police because nobody asked questions. They just assumed we was jacking this white boy. And he wasn't even fighting. We just walking alongside with him. We did have him by the shoulders. He wasn't wrestling or nothing like that. In fact, when the cops pulled up, that motherfucker he started walking again. Soon as the cops jacked us, he started walking back towards 120th. And we had to try to explain. I can't explain. I can't hardly talk with a goddamn 9mm in my fucking ear. And yes, I had a serious issue with police for a long time. Why wasn't I? Every time we encountered each other, it was always a problem. It was always some ridiculous shit, man, that I didn't do. I didn't deserve, but I was treated like a criminal multiple times. Cars getting this take everything out your car, your back seat on the sidewalk, your jack on the sidewalk, your spare tire on the sidewalk, and then they just don't find shit and just leave you sitting right there. Take you 45 minutes to put your car back together again. Yeah, man. I had a problem with the police. You damn right I did.
Is it safe to say that when N.W.A. released F the Police, that you pretty much understood the reasoning behind it? And what was your general thoughts when you heard that song?
I totally agree with him, but I'm a different generation, dude. I'm a different generation. You know, like my daddy said, the object of the game is to go home, dude. I'm not going to antagonize these motherfuckers on their own home. They got home field advantage. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Call me a punk. The object is to go home. The object of the game is when you bring it home, you automatically win. To be out there being handcuffed because you tough motherfucker, or sit up in the county because you no, that ain't winning. That don't feel like winning. Because you don't even know how to tell a story at that age. You can't make your points clear enough to convince a judge that you didn't do what the cop said he did. He already got points. He got a badge and a gun. You're a black kid from the ghetto, and you're trying to tell a story about how you encountered this cop and why this cop threw you in jail, whooped your ass, whatever the case may be. But you didn't do it. You didn't do what the cop said. They know exactly what to write on the goddamn paper. And sometimes you don't understand some of those words, and you agreeing to shit you ain't know nothing about. When you were detained by the officers, I don't know what's detained. I don't know what detained is. I mean, you know, when you were in custody, when you were what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, detained. You were detained by the officers, and what they ran up on me. No. You were detained, and you know sometimes the street language and English language, the words don't always match up. What you thinking, what you saying, and what's being written down might be two different things.
Yeah. We're about halfway through the show, so I'm gonna remind everyone to hit that like button if you haven't already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. You are tuned into N.W.A. Stories with Lonzo. That is Alonzo Williams. I am Dusty Vision, and today we're discussing April 29th, 1992. We are 33 years past the LA riots. I can't believe it was 33 years ago. It's crazy just saying that. But a couple of people are mentioning Downey police, man. Yeah, I lived in Downey for a few years, and I have a personal experience with the Downey police. Shout out to Rad7. He says, peace, fellas. Just got off the plane in Cabo vacation. And nice, man.
Ain't tell nobody, man.
Damn. Good shit, homie. Good shit. Appreciate you stopping in, man. Hope you're enjoying the beach out there. But yeah, man, the Downey police have always, and even like, let's talk about the Firestone district, you know, the Southgate, that general area. Talk about their history, Lonzo. You know, to this day, you still don't mess around in Downey when you go to Downey.
Firestone was notorious for kicking folks' asses. Notorious. I knew so many grown men that knew my daddy that were afraid to travel parts of Linwood, LA, because Firestone. We lived in Firestone territory at one time. And every time, in fact, that's when I was having issues, we were still in Firestone. When I was having issues as a young man, we were still in Firestone. And I was glad when Firestone was no longer they was no longer patrolling our area. But shit, then we got Carson, and they wasn't no goddamn better. It was just the sheriff department, dude. I never had a lot of experience in Downey. My only experiences with Downey, it was not with the police. My daddy cut lawns in Downey as well. And I remember when Downey was all fucking cow pastures, all fucking dairy. Paramount, Downey, when you busted left off of Rosecrans and was headed north on any street, all you could see was cows. But no damn hotbed. It reminded me of the Wizard of Oz when it was black and white. When Dorothy and them was still for the hurricane hit, she's trying to get to the path for the hurricane. That's how Downey looked when I was a kid. No bullshit. No bullshit.
Yeah. Let's keep it pushing, Lonzo. Let's fast forward, you know, to the late 80s, early 90s. Before you knew anything about Rodney King and the riots that would eventually take place, what was bubbling up in the streets? Talk to us about people's interaction with the police. Dive into Latasha Harlan's. You know, what was going on just before we saw that infamous tape of Rodney King getting his ass whipped?
You know, it was a lot of bullshit. Everybody kept pissing in our faces and telling us it was rain. No, look at that. That's piss. That's not. No, that ain't no rain. That's piss.
Sounds similar to what they're doing today.
Yeah, that's, man, dude. And but here's the difference in today and then. Back then, it was only us. It was only us had to listen to this bullshit and watch somebody get probation. Watch somebody get probation for killing a kid, a 10-year-old kid, 11-year-old kid. Homegirl got.
Tell everybody who's not familiar about Latasha Harlan's in the story.
Latasha Harlan was a young lady. She right there on 91st and Figueroa. In fact, my auntie lived right down the street. I went to that store many times to just go buy some miscellaneous bullshit. Okay, and she allegedly was accused by the store owner of stealing something, and they got into it somehow or another, and the girl ended up dead. And then they proved that she didn't steal nothing. And it was about to go down between the Korean community and the black folks. And a few people stepped in to keep it from going really, really down. But it's still like, then she went to court and got probation. Huh? When the fuck you get probation for killing somebody? Anybody. Who does that? I ain't never nan. No, I ain't never know that my boy said, I don't know, nan nigga went to court, killed somebody, went to court, and got probation. She got like 10 years probation or something. I never forget when she went to court, she was all dejected and shit, looking all sad. And people was pissed. People was pissed. I forgot who her attorney was, but I know Johnny Cocker was involved some way, form, or fashion. I don't think he was her attorney, but I do believe he was involved some way, form, or fashion. That kind of shakes me a little bit, but yeah. And shortly after, I mean, it was like you keep building up all this pressure, You ain't making no sense. Now all of a sudden you tell me what? Now the brother gonna get beat by the police? Come on, man. It just is too. It just you can't. It's like you try to not have a problem. It's like people picking on you. Okay, like people picking on you. Just like right now, people they doing so much silly shit, man. And a lot of that shit is directed at us. And all the people I listen to on the radio are like, hey, man, don't go out there with the book. Don't go out there. That ain't your fight. So kick back for a minute. Because the shit you think is just you, it's everybody. Everybody broke is catching the same shit. When you go to Walmart, when you go to Kmart, when you go to Walmart, or any other 99-cent store, the ones that are still open, ain't gonna be there. And shit ain't gonna be there in a while, no matter where you are. You ever been to Walmart? I saw a YouTuber one time went to Walmart. I think he put up like a $500 challenge. Anybody can find something in Walmart that was made in America.
Zero.
Ain't shit made in America. Okay, nothing. Everything in Walmart is China. From the clothes to the appliances, everything is made in China. They could not find that one thing that was made in America. Dollar General, one of my favorite stores. You ain't gonna find nothing made in America. Nothing. So at some point in time, this shit's gonna affect everybody, not just black folks. But it seems like some of the things that they're doing is specifically targeted towards black folks and the black and Latino people, which the ones they're trying to find justification to lock up, according to what I read today, along with having the city, wherever it is, overseas, they locked up that one dude. They cut a deal with
El Salvador.
El Salvador. They cut a deal with Rwanda to try and get it. That's where black folks gonna go. Oh, hell no. Y'all doing too much. Why is it this is even necessary? I mean, don't get me started on this political bullshit. What happened to due process, man? What happened to the fact you got to go to court and you just can't just grab people up and ship them out the country. You can't do that, man. And they're gonna fuck around there and do it to the wrong person, and it's gonna be a problem bigger than they want to admit. The fact that you telling me you can send a man out the country, but you can't bring him back in is bullshit to the utmost degree. How you going to same people that send him out of there, send him to El Salvador? You can't bring him back though. It ain't my call. What the fuck? Come on, man. I don't want to get shut down.
Let's keep it up with the riot, Lonzo, of 1992. Now let's go back to what we were discussing earlier. Tell us about kind of the transition of black ownership to Korean ownership. There was a time where you would walk down the street, you told us, and you walk into 5 businesses, and 5 of the businesses that were all black, especially in places like Compton. But tell us about how the transition from black ownership to Korean ownership happened, in your opinion.
It happened right after the riots. Right after
the first riot, the Watts riot?
Started in 85. I mean, I'm sorry, 65. There was a lot of mixed businesses in the community. We had a black grocery store. In that black grocery store, they had, like I say, we had a Jewish insurance man, another guy ran a record store. A lot of black folks worked there. My neighborhood was mixed with Latinos and blacks, and we pretty much got along with no problem. After the riots, all the non-melanated folks got the fuck up out of here. I'm out. Okay, they did not want to get caught here no more. So a lot of businesses got left abandoned, and then shortly after that, a lot of black folks took over businesses for a while. Okay, and most of your liquor stores was black owned. That opened up a lot. We had more, but we had a few more after the 65 riots. And then when crack started coming in, folks started selling out. By this time, they got a little equity, and folks started selling out. Every liquor store, every chicken place, swap meets opened up, and you didn't see no black folks doing nothing but buying stuff. And I think that's when they invented the bulletproof glass or something, because that became the standard equipment. Stores that I've been going through all my life, there's a liquor store, Liquorama, right there on Avalon. I used to go there. I was my backup store, and I got in trouble with my boys in the hood. And I went there one day, man, and I didn't recognize nothing because everything is behind plexiglass. And when you go to the grocery to a liquor store that's in the hood, I want you to notice something. Everything of value is behind the glass. All the money, all the expensive liquor. You can steal all the beer you want. They don't give a shit about no beer. But you buy the $15 bottle of Hennessy or whatever it is you drink, that's behind the glass. You got to get past that bulletproof glass and whatever else you got behind that counter to slow your ass down. And that became the norm. Then you look at the swap meets popped up. There was no black businesses in the swap meet. That was a big issue for a while, man. Because I only knew one guy had a store at the swap meet. And the only reason why he had a store at the swap meet because he was a graphic artist. And you just can't, that's a skill you have to have that skill. You just can't, retail art. It was a graffiti artist, and he would do all my banners and stuff like that. And but socks, t-shirts, and the problem with the swap meet, especially the rodeo, not the rodeo, but the Compton swap meet and the Slauson swap meet, they were in the hood. And at any given moment, one side, somebody, crippled blood, Samoan, Latino, whatever you want to call them, gonna need some draws at the same time. And that's when the shit would go down. Everybody need a pair of draws, fresh pair of draws and a t-shirt, and they go to the swap meet and they go some ops, and it's going down. Last time I went to the Slauson swap meet, there was a metal detector at the front door. You had to get searched to walk. You had to get searched to walk into Slauson swap meet. Last time I was in there.
Any place I got to get searched like that, yeah, I'll call Amazon. I can get that shit on Amazon.
Yeah, no shit.
Damn, that's crazy.
And that's what's killing them all right now. Anybody got to really go? Anybody got to put up with that bullshit? But the Amazon man, he catching the hell.
Well, they dropping drones now, so they're about to get rid of those guys. Yeah, they got drones delivering packages now, man.
I heard. I haven't seen one yet, but yeah, I heard.
Yeah, I haven't seen the ones flying, but you'll see the ones delivering packages from building to building, and it's mind blowing when you're walking down LA and you see that. But all right, what were your general thoughts, Lonzo, when you first saw the infamous Rodney King tape?
I'm like, dude, thank God homeboy had a camera. Thank God homeboy had a camera, and he was willing to share that tape with the rest of the world, because nobody would believe them cops beat that man like that. That was always the problem when a white man in the blue police suit whooping a black man in any kind of suit. That nothing never has. It's always his word against my word against his word, and because he's sworn to uphold the law, and they think they give you an impression that he would not do anything like that. Meanwhile, they do it every day, all day. It finally put the light on what was really happening in the community, and it justified why N.W.A. said, fuck the police. Because you think about it, N.W.A. had not, they were still going through shit up until the riots. Right before the riots, they were still getting their records ran over by bulldozers, still catching hell from Tipper Gore. They still was catching hell from everybody. And all of a sudden, when the 92 riots, fuck the police became the chant of the streets. And that's what shortly after that, they became bigger heroes than ever, because they thought they predicted something. They saw something and spoke on it before anybody else knew about it. And what they spoke on was something that's been going on for decades, but nobody believed them until they actually saw it. The Rodney King situation proved that they had a point.
Well, let's get to a few questions, Lonzo, before we wrap it up. We have about 12 minutes left. Anybody have any questions, post them down below, and we'll get to them. First question, Lonzo. Someone wants to know, did Lonzo get paid okay from the Electro Street Sounds compilations in Europe?
Hell no.
What is that? Tell it. I'm looking it up right now. I don't see anything with your name attached to it. What was that?
Man, whoo, somebody give me a flashback. McCullough, Don McMillan, rest his soul. Steven, son of a bitch, did a deal with Street Sounds and sold his whole unauthorized catalog to Street Sounds. We didn't find out until later on. Now, let me back up. I did do a couple of deals with Street Sounds in the very beginning, some licensing deals in the very beginning when I think Morgan Khan was a label owner at that time. But Morgan died, if I'm mistaken, and the son took over, and Don McMillan cut a shitty ass deal with Morgan Khan or Morgan's son, and all of our shit. There's a whole lawsuit been going on forever with everybody's shit. Mine, Egypt's, Rudy Pardee, everything that ever came through McCullough. This guy got like 20 grand for the shit. I mean, over 100 different titles. He indemnified them against suing, and then I just heard recently, DJ Flash, another hip hop cat, bought the McCullough label, was trying to sell the shit again. And dude, I just got through having one of the most intense conversations, fucked up my blood pressure behind my music. Dude, we're not doing that again. We are too old for that shit. So I threw a wrench in that shit big time. Yes. Yeah.
Damn, let's not get your blood pressure up, man. So let's not even talk about that.
Have a nigga over here touching shit.
I see you over there reaching for a pistol or something like that.
Glitching like over here. Like nigga over here buffering and shit.
Oh man. Hey Lonzo, this has been a big story all week, and I would love your opinion on it, being that you are the West Coast hip hop pioneer, the ultimate. Last year, Kid Frost went viral for saying if it weren't for Latinos, Black artists like Eazy-E and Tupac wouldn't have been as successful as they were. We did a reaction to that, and you said you agreed with what Kid Frost said about that statement. Well, it seems like this topic is coming up like every 6 months, and it's going viral every 6 months. But a very popular content creator by the name of Duno recently said something similar on a podcast. He said, that without Latinos, Tupac and other artists, Black artists, would not have been as successful as they are or were. Can you break down your history with the Latino audience as a world-class Wrecking Crew member, and just touch on that comment about Latinos being a big support system to Black artists, and if it wasn't for Latinos, that a lot of Black artists would not be who they are.
To my Latino brothers out there, they've always supported us in perpetuity. We're not just fly-by-night artists with them, man. They came out I can count the shows that I have done in LA that were predominantly Black. Not a whole lot in my whole career. And most of the shows that I perform, whether it be at the Casa or the bullfighting ring in where's that at? You know what I'm talking about. Pico Rivera. Dude, the car shows in Texas, Arizona, dude, they always showed us love, man. Even when I go to Sacramento, they showed us love. Yes, I have done Black shows, but most of my shows have been predominantly Latino, and it's not just the hip hop; it's just the whole R&B culture. I mean, you got folks, they pass that shit down to their kids, man. They pass our music. Our music becomes generational. And you got guys like Brenton Wood still getting love from Latinos. You got cats like what's his name? Rock and Roll Gangster. They love that dude, man. Nobody even cares about Rock and Roll Gangster on our side of the frat tracks, dude. Let's keep it 100. What's his name? Rock and Roll Gangster. That is, what's his name?
Rock and Roll Gangster. Someone put it down below.
He was a popular cat for a hot minute in the Black community, but he became a staple in the Latino lowrider community. All that Motown shit, all that stuff that was done in the 50s and 60s, that shit is part of their culture, and it's part of our culture too. but they take it a little bit more serious than we do, man. They take it. Let me back up. They take it a lot more serious than we do. You know, and it's just amazing. I was telling my people today, we're talking about my new documentary, and I say, man, let's take my documentary out of the country first. Alon, thank you, Derek Mallory. Alon, yeah, Alon. Alon had one hit, far as I know, Rock and Roll Gangster. But you play Rock and Roll Gangster at a Latino set, they're gonna get their groove on. They're gonna get their groove on, and that it's that way with so many different artists, man. It's ridiculous, especially when it comes to slow dancing. When me and Yella did an event in Pico Rivera. We was in Pico Rivera, man, at a little makeshift car show. It was cold as shit this day. And they paid us to come out there and hang out. Man, we got so much love, it's ridiculous, dude. We were over by another place downtown in East LA at a car show. And again, dude, it's like the older we are, the more they love us, man. The older we are, the more they love us. And unfortunately, when you on the black side, if you ain't hot as fish grease, man, I don't give a shit. If you ain't Dre or Cube, LL, I don't give a shit. If you a mild hit, a mild star, I consider myself a mild star, and on some levels, nobody give a shit. But let me take my ass over to East LA. I was in the car show this year, LA Convention Center. Only person recognized me was some Latino cats. Hey, what's up, Holmes? Oh man, you know what it is? And man, pictures. Dude, that's how they do it. And I gotta love them for it, man. I gotta love them for it. Never got no ass though, so they holding back. But anyway, but yeah, man, we've always got nothing but love from Latino crowds, man. And they love, dude. I'm telling you, from the time I did that show in that backyard, and they got to fighting, I saw a difference, dude. There was a different level.
Oh, you got to tell that story since you brought it up,
dude. As a DJ, as a young DJ, Disco Alonzo, I was everywhere. I was everywhere doing all type of events, and I'm doing the quinceañera in a backyard in Whittier. I'm the only me and my cousin Chris are the only black people in the city limits, okay, of Whittier. All right, I'm doing my thing in two gangs. They got some beer in them. They got to fighting. I'm still DJing. My cousin, they done gave his ass some sherm. He fucked up. Okay, just like Smokey in Friday, he fucked up on some sherm. They fighting. Fight break out. All of a sudden, I declared blue sky. The guy who hired me, hey Holmes, time out Holmes. No bullshit. Time out Holmes. Let the DJ go, man. He ain't in this shit, man. Let the DJ go. Both sides helped me load my truck up and helped me load my cousins up. They paid me the rest of my goddamn money. And as I was leaving the parking lot, they started fighting again. It's like Noah parted the Red Sea just long enough for me to get in my truck and get the fuck down Whittier Boulevard. No bullshit. Okay? That's a
great story.
That's a true fucking story. So I've always seen a different kind of love from the Latino community, man. And it's generational, dude. It's not just the old folks, man. Like I said, they passed that shit up. My record Lovers is still huge in the Latino community, man. Still huge. Niggas don't even know I made Lovers. Black folks don't know I made it. They don't play it. They do not play it. Okay? All they know is Turn Off the Lights. And Lovers was one of the biggest songs I ever made until I made Turn Off the Lights. Straight up. So yeah, man. Kid Frost and I go back to day one, dude, doing shows in Sacramento. I mean, that's real talk.
And we're talking what, 81, 82, 83?
About 83, 84.
Yeah.
We only had surgery and juice at that time. So yeah, 83, 84. And we got this, and Kid Frost with his cane and his zoot suit doing his thing, man. And we've been cool but 45 years. You know, it's just nothing but love, dude. Nothing but love. Yeah, so I can definitely concur with that statement. And you know, you need a base, man. But sometimes even your base will abandon you. I'll put it this way here. Latino crew, the Latino community has been very loyal to hip hop from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whether it was our shit, whether it's record, they didn't trip on whether we was up tempo or gangster. When gangster rap came out, we got abandoned. The black community abandoned us, man.
Mm.
When everybody went gangster, the black community abandoned LA Dream Team, World Class Record Crew, all the guys that was up tempo party people. Nobody fuck with us no more. Latinos still was breakdancing, man. They still pop locking. They still getting their groove on. They still appreciate. They still like to slow dance, and they'll do their gangster shit too. But they don't forget about where they come from. And it ain't the same way on our side of the tracks, dude. Keep the 100.
There it is, man. Let's get it going, Lonzo. I know you got to get your butt on the in traffic, man. Any last words before you hit him with that outro?
Oh man, we was working on trying to get this next documentary out, Doc. That is the plan right now. So stick with me, and I look for it soon. It's coming. I'll keep you posted though. All right. For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery. Stuck Ice Cube in the freezer till he got cold. On the eve after dark, 50-yard line to Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood bullshit, because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for not without Alonzo. Peace, y'all.